Good morning. So I think we have everyone joined for the class. So I'm sure that the IBSL have already uploaded some of the reading materials to you. So you can kindly download those material and have a look at those. Those have been extracted from some very valuable books. So you'll be able to get a better knowledge of what we have been discussing in point form by going through those. Now today our focus will be on marketing mix. Now why marketing mix is so important? As I have already told you that to make the customer satisfied, we need to offer something that will solve his problem and will make him satisfied. Now every customer has a problem with him and we call that a need. Now need happens because there is something that you want and it is not there. For example, your body needs water and water is not there. So you feel that you are thirsty, right? So you are deprived. Now you need to find something that will quench the thirst. You're not worried about water or milk. You're worried about solving your problem. That is to satisfy your thirst, right? So what will happen is that you will search something that will satisfy your need or basically solve your problem. Now, when you are trying to find out something that will solve your problem, you find several options. For example, you find some people offering you water bottles, some people offering you milk, right? Some people offering you fruit juice, some people offering you cola or carbonated drinks. So now you have a choice. Now, when you have a choice, you decide what you want. Right? So you might say, okay, I have a need to satisfy my thirst. I want a water bottle. Or you might say, I have a need to satisfy my thirst. I want a fruit juice. Or you might say that I have a need to satisfy my thirst and I need a cup of tea or coffee. So each one of you, what you want to satisfy your requirement or the need will differ based on your appetite and the desire at that particular moment. Or basically based on your taste and the requirements, values, and what you like, the whole who you are will decide what you really want. Right? So remember, need and wants are two different things. Need is the real problem. Need is the self-deprived situation. Okay, you have a requirement, it's not there, so you need to fulfill the gap. Right? For example, you are hungry, so there's a need that has been generated by your body. It's a physical need. And at the same time, don't underestimate or don't forget that you also have psychological needs. For example, the need to be recognized. Need to be recognized. So that is why you wear very nice clothes and you like to have expensive jewelry, and then you like to have something very expensive wearables such as Rolex, gold jewelry, diamond. You want people to recognize you. You want people to appreciate you. You like to socialize with others. You want friends. Now these are all psychological needs. Sometimes you want to do good. Sometimes you want to add value to the society. You want to help people. And sometimes you have a need to have a group or a society to get rid of your loneliness. So you search for societies, you search for some organizations where you can go and mingle with people. Now these are all psychological needs. Need for affiliation, need for recognition. These are all psychological needs. So always remember, there are physiological and psychological needs that is created within you as a human being, which is not created by marketers. These have nothing to do with marketers. A marketer is not creating thirst in you. A marketer is not creating hunger in you. A marketer is not creating the need for recognition in you. A marketer is not creating need for affiliation. It is already there in you. So needs are already there in you. And sometimes you know the need is there. Sometimes you don't know until someone tells you. For example, when you have hunger or the thirst, you know that it is there. But you might not know that you also have a need for recognition until someone tells you, hey, look here, why don't you wear a good branded shirt? Why don't you wear a good branded watch so that people will look at you and it is good? So when someone tells you that, you feel, okay, I need to get recognized. I also need to be a very nice looking professional where everyone looks at me. So you start going for branded clothes, you start buying things, and you're worried about your watch, you're worried about your pen, you're worried about your hairstyle. Now, all this happens when someone tells you, okay, you need to be like that, right? So sometimes there are needs that you may not know. For example, there are some latent needs. For example, someone says, okay, look here, if you die, who's going to look after your family? Okay, now you're worried, right? You're worried. When I die, who's going to look after my family? Now it's a question. So what do you do? Now someone tells you, okay, you need to now have a life insurance. So what do you do? Now you go for life insurance. So remember, the need is already there in you. Marketer don't create needs, but marketer might help you to identify your needs and tell you that you want my product. You want a solution, and that is with me. So therefore, always remember this fundamental concept in marketing. Needs are within you as a human being. Marketers don't create needs. Marketers create wants. That means they'll tell you, okay, you have a need, you need this. You have a need to be recognized, therefore use a Rolex watch. You have a need to show that you are a gentleman, therefore you wear this brand shirt. You have a need to satisfy your thirst, buy Coca-Cola, buy fruit juice, buy milk, buy water bottle, buy a coffee, buy tea. They tell you the wants. They create wants. Now this is how the innovation happen as well. Now, for example, you have thirst, but someone will tell you, okay, now you need this particular product, which is a totally a new product which will satisfy the need. Earlier, someone said tea, and now someone is selling coffee. Later, someone will come and give you varieties like latte or cappuccino. See, it's how it goes. So you also can identify needs of the customers and create some new ones. That means new marketing mixes. Now, having said that, now that I've mentioned the name, I must always tell you that you're not buying products alone. You're not buying products alone. You are buying a program or a mix or a bundle. Now, for example, if you look at a film, now film is more or less a story, right? But you're not going to watch the story alone. It's not the story alone that motivates you to look at a film, right? You are worried about the whole experience. Now, the story has to be there, but in that story, in that film, you expect some humor, you expect some romance, you expect some fights, excitement. You will also expect some nice songs based on your desire. So you call a film, and film is a combination of so many factors other than the script, such as the songs, the excitement, the fight, the romance, the humor, so on and so forth. So therefore, if you look at products, that is same. Now, when I give you just a water bottle, it's not only the water bottle that matters. You're also worried about the price. You're also worried about the information about this. Okay, what is this product? Who manufactures it? Why should I buy this? What are the certificates they have? You're also worried about where I can buy this. Can I buy this conveniently, or do I have to travel a lot, or will it take too much time and effort for me to buy this? So many things are coming into your mind. So therefore, always remember, you're not just buying the product, you are buying the whole program or the mix that is offered to you, which we call the marketing mix. Now, having this basic understanding in our mind, let us look at the presentation and then try to understand the marketing mix. Right. So the marketing mix. Now, basics of marketing. It says understanding and anticipating needs and wants of the customer. Now, this is the basics of marketing, right? Now, on the other side, you have satisfying the need at a profit. Satisfying a need at a profit. Now, these are the two things. One side, you have to understand and anticipate needs and wants of the customer. On the other side, you have to satisfy the need at a profit. So first question is, how can I satisfy my need? This is the first question that the customer has in his mind. So your answer is your product or the solution that you offer. Second one, the customer has, the question is, satisfaction at what cost? Now, first question that you will have is, okay, I am hungry. How can I satisfy my need? So obviously there has to be a product. So you say, okay, fish bun, okay, pizza, right? Or rice and curry, noodles. So product has to be there. Then you ask the second question, looking at your wallet, okay, satisfaction at what cost? Okay, I have a fish bun. The fish bun is 50 rupees in the canteen, but perhaps 120 rupees or 120 rupees in Sponge or Fab, good restaurant. Or else you will say, okay, it's about 150 rupees to 200 rupees in a 5-star hotel. Now, you're not just going to buy fish bun, you're worried about the price also, right? So you're worried about the product, that is true, but then you are not going to spend any amount of money to buy the product. So you are worried about the price, the cost, and you always compare, okay, whatever I get as the product, what is it really worth for me to spend this much of money? Now, you might buy a fish bun at 50 rupees, at 100 rupees or 150 rupees, but I am sure none of you will spend 1,000 rupees for a fish bun. None of you will spend 1,000 rupees for a fish bun. Why is that? That is because in your mind, you know 1,000 rupees is too much for a fish bun. Now, who told you that? Now, that is your general understanding. No one told you the fish bun should be less than 1,000. No one told you, but you know that manufacturing a fish bun will not cost you that much. So therefore, looking at the market prices, understanding your whole scenario, you will say, okay, right, I'm not going to pay 1,000 rupees for a fish bun for whatever reason. So you're not only worried about the product, you're also worried about the price. You're also worried about the price. Now, having said that, let me also ask you, is it only the product and the price that matters? Now, let's say that you get a break of half an hour, and during that break, you want to have a pizza. Now, pizza is a good product for you to satisfy your hunger, and the price is reasonable. You have money in your pocket. Now, you want to go and have this pizza within half an hour. Now, when you are looking at it, the next question that comes to you, how easy for me to consume this? Now, how easy for me to go to the Pizza Hut, have a pizza, and come back and start listening to the lecture? Can I do that within half an hour? Now, this is the question. At the same time, you want to find out, okay, there are other options. such as while the lecture is going on, I can get someone to order the pizza, and when the break is given, pizza may be delivered to my house. In that case, I can have it. But traveling to have a pizza to the Pizza Hut may not be a viable option unless you are living next door. Right? So you're not only worried about the product, you're not only worried about the price, you're also worried about how quickly, how much time that I have to spend and how much effort I have to spend in buying the product. So we call this place, that is the distribution or availability of the product. Availability of the product. So the next main question is, okay, what am I buying? What am I buying? I should know what I buy, right? Okay, what are the information related to this product? How it works? What are the features? What are the benefits? How about after sale service? How about warranty? How is this manufactured? What are the ingredients they have used? Oh, you're worried about all this information. And you will say, okay, what is the guarantee that it is a good product? Now you're worried. And so unless you have information, you might think twice to buy. Now that is why companies do promotions and they tell you about their brand. They tell you, okay, this is a finer brand. This is prepared in this way. Right? And there are some certifications that have been offered. They tell you everything possible, right? So therefore, remember, when you are trying to buy a product, it's not just the product that matters to you, but these 4 factors will have a huge impact on your decision to buy or not buy a product. So what marketers offer to the market? If you think that marketers are offering only the product, you're sadly mistaken. Marketers are offering this bundle or the mix, that is product, price, place, promotion, well blended mix, which we call the marketing program, so that when the people see this whole program or the offer, it's a market offer, they will decide whether we should go for this product or not. Now, having said that, remember, these are the 4 key questions, 4 key things that a marketer will play around in differentiating his offer, his marketing program, his market offer compared to the competitor to satisfy the customer. So changing any one of these 4 will certainly give the marketer an advantage. So now the next thing that you need to remember is that as a company, you can always have a product, price, place, and promotion. Now that is your market offer. This is what you offer to the market. This is my product, this is my price, this is the place you can buy, and here is the promotion. Here are the information about my product. Here are the incentives to buy my product. So you can have that. But remember, you're not the only company in the market. You're not the only bank in the market. You're not the only finance company in the market. You're not the only insurance company in the market. So while you offer a product, you have to always remember there are other competitors who offer similar market offers to the market. So they also offer their product, price, place, promotion. Price, place, promotion. So when your company in the market having competitors, the customer has a choice, and the customer will go to the best choice. So he will compare the value created by your marketing program, and he will compare the value created by the competitors, and then he will choose the better product, better price, better place, better promotion, and he will go for the best choice. So therefore, your challenge is to have a better product, better price, better place, better promotion compared to the competitors. Compared to the competitors. So let's look at the summary form. Identify the needs and wants of the customer and satisfy them at a profit better than competitors. This is what you are supposed to do. And your challenge is to develop the best marketing mix. Best means the best. There is nothing else, right? But much better than the competitors, right? So develop the best marketing mix to produce a positive response in the target market. Now, what is the positive response? Positive response is when you put the marketing mix into the market as an offer, people will respond positively. That is that they will start buying, or they will choose your bank to bank with or to start the relationship. So it should produce the positive response in the target market. You must always remember the marketing mix will differ from the market segment to another market segment. The marketing mix offered to a market segment of ladies is completely different from a marketing mix that is offered to men. So marketing mix is always defined in the context of your target market. What market you are targeting, what market you are going to do your business. Based on your market, you will change your marketing mix. You will change your marketing mix. And you must always prepare a marketing mix that will create the most positive response in the target market that you are targeting to do your businesses. So what is this segmentation and target market? That is what we are going to discuss after this lesson. Right. Now let's look at a little bit of a complicated one or a formal definition. It says marketing mix is the set of controllable. Controllable means that you can change. Tactical, right? So you can gain advantage by changing the mix. Marketing tool that the firm blends to produce the response it wants in the target market. So it's controllable, it's tactical, and it is set of marketing tools that the firm will blend. Firm will create by looking each one of it and then synchronize. Why? And what are they going to do? They are going to produce a positive response in the target market. The marketing mix consists of everything the firm can do. Everything the firm can do to influence the demand for its products. So its aim is to influence demand for its products, and this is the mix that the company can change in order to do that and to become better than the competitor. So we have been telling become better than the competitor, how you have to develop a better product, better price, better distribution channel, and a better promotion, have better promotions. So you can change your marketing mix, make it better, and compete against your competitors and offer superior value to the customer. So you have your product, price, place, promotion. This marketing mix should be effective. So you have a well-blended marketing mix. That means your entire 4 components should complement each other. For example, if you are having a quality product should have a little bit of a higher price, exclusive distribution, and very exclusive promotions. Now, if you want to sell Mercedes-Benz, obviously the price has to be a little higher so that every Tom, Dick, and Harry will not come and buy Mercedes-Benz. So it's a prestigious product. Only the rich can buy that, so that there is an aspiration being created. okay, if I have a Mercedes-Benz, people will recognize me as rich, recognize me as someone valuable in the society because I'm driving a quality product which has a higher price that everyone can't afford. And you don't have so many agents for Mercedes-Benz. You have only one authorized agent in Sri Lanka. And their promotions, you don't see it in the normal newspaper, but you see it in exclusive magazines. You don't see them sponsoring bicycle race, but you see them in golf, where the top caste people go and they play, carry out tournaments. You don't see it in every magazine you go, but they are there in high top-end magazines. So therefore, their marketing mix complements each other and creates that hype or the prestige towards their market offer. But you don't see a Mercedes-Benz at a lower price, at a discount, 20% off. You don't see a promotion where someone with a short and a t-shirt getting down in slippers from a Mercedes-Benz. You always see in promotions some people with full dress, formal dress, getting down, and then you see that they are rich people. Now they don't show you very ordinary or people who are not very properly dressed in their promotions or advertisements. Now that is because they want to create that prestige. Now how do they do that? They create this whole mix in such a way that proposition is created. So you have the well-blended marketing mix offered to the target market. So when you offer the well-blended or well-prepared marketing mix to the target market, if it creates the desired response, that is the demand, then we can say that your marketing mix is effective. Effectiveness means achievement of purpose. So you have a marketing mix, a well-blended marketing mix. That means each component of the marketing mix complements each other. Quality product, high price, complements each other. Exclusive distribution complements each other. Exclusive promotions complements the rest. So components complementing each other, well-blended. You put it to the target market, the market you want to operate. Then once you put this, if people are happy about it, and if people come and tell you, okay, I really like your market offer, I want to buy that, the demand is created, then we say, okay, your marketing mix is effective. Right? So this is the challenge of any marketer, that is to make sure that you create an effective marketing mix. Now, why it is so important to CRM? Because remember, the basis of customer relationship is offering not a product, but a marketing mix, a market offer that will satisfy their needs better than the competitors. Only and only then, when you satisfy the needs of the customer by offering a better marketing program, market offer, they will start liking your company and they will create a relationship with your company. If there is no satisfaction, if there is no proper market offer, you don't have to talk about relationships. It will never happen. You can't have a shoddy product or a very poor marketing mix compared to your competitors and think of giving a superb service and trying to attract customers. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So you must first have a good market offer being prepared if you want to develop relationships with your customers. Now it's time for us to explore each component in detail. First one, as you see, then we are going to talk about the product. The product. Right? So product is something that will really satisfy the needs of the customer. And you can see that the same need of having light has evolved over a period of time. Long time back, they had the candle, then the old filament bulb, then they came up with CFL, and today they have LED. So all these four products, which has been introduced over the history of the mankind, you see that they are satisfying the same need, the need to have the light. And when they do that, they give you a different product. These products have their own pricing, and it differs from each other. But all these four products, you will know that will satisfy the same need. Now, having look at a physical product, you here see a service, that is the airline. So this is the national airline we see. Now this is a service, and why this photo is here is to tell you that when you say product, we are not only looking at the physical products, but services are also part of it. So when we say product in the marketing mix, don't ask me where the services are. Services means it is also a type of product. It is also a type of product. Why? Because you look at the definition, it says product is anything that can be offered to a market for attention, acquisition, use or consumption that might satisfy a want or a need. Right? Product is anything. It can be a physical thing, or it can be a experience, it can be a service, right? That is offered to the market for attention, acquisition, use or consumption. What is the fundamental thing? That might satisfy a want or a need. Now, you go down, you say, broadly defined, products include physical objects, events, persons, places, organizations, ideas, services, or mixes of these entities. Now, let me ask you a question that all this time I've been speaking to you. Now, can you give me some examples to what is here, right? So it says, okay, includes physical objects, mixers, right? Okay, here I am putting it to the chat. Now, you give me some examples. Examples for physical objects, which is going to be an easy one for you. Events, right? Places, organizations, ideas, services, or mixes of these entities. Right? Can someone give me? You don't have to give everything, but for example, tell me about physical product. What are the examples? Can someone basically look at it and then scratch your head and tell me, okay, some of the examples? Okay, let me wake you up. So we have everyone logged in, right? Okay, tell me an example for a physical object. Now, okay, I'll give you that. That is the most difficult one. No, I'll give you an example for physical object. Physical object can be a phone, or it can be a pen, right? The most difficult one, right? And it can be a water bottle. Keep the water bottle there. Okay, it can be a water bottle. Now, these are physical objects, right? Okay. Tell me other example. Events. Events. What are the examples? Persons, places. Oh, can I get you activated? Give me some examples. I have given you the most difficult one. Physical objects, right? Now tell me some examples for other products. Someone says Facebook. Facebook, yes, it's a product. It's a product. Now look at this events. What are the examples for events?
Yeah,
FedEx.
organizing occasions or organizing some book fairs.
So you have Colombo International Book Fair, right? And you have Big Bad Wolf, the book fair, right? So those are events created, right? And the wedding show, events. Then you have IPL. It's an event. It's a huge event, right? Where the sports and entertainment is being coupled. We can call it sportainment, right? Why? Sports, entertainment. So both being coupled, sportainment, right? And it's an event. It's not only cricket, no. It's not only cricket. It's like a carnival, right? So you go, the cricket is the main reason, and then you also have so many other things around it. So it's a huge event being created, right? Persons. Now, for example, the singers Jyotipal or Tennyson Curry, or someone like a performer Charlie Chaplin. Now these are all products, right, which will satisfy your need. Then places, another places, Sigiriya. Right? The foreigners come all the way to see the miracle of the world, Sigiriya. Right?
Theme parks.
Theme parks. Yeah, that's right. Disneyland, right? Organizations. What are the organizations? Organizations are like UNESCO, right? Or Lions Club, Rotary, Toastmasters. Ideas, right? Ideas of stop smoking, right? So kind of things like that. Services. What are the services? You have lectures, tuition, right? And then you have these spas, then hotels, airline services, all these things, right? And mixers of these entities. So now you understand when we say product in the product mix or the marketing mix, we are not talking about these physical objects that you see, but it is a broader definition. It's a broader definition, and product, in its essence, is trying to satisfy a need. Satisfy a need, right? Okay. So look at this. Services are a form of product that consists of activities, benefits, or satisfactions offered for sale that are essentially tangible and do not result in the ownership of anything. Now this is where we are, right? We are selling services. Now it says, okay, a form of product. So it is also a different type of product. Consists of activities, benefits, or satisfactions offered for sale, offered for money, offered for sale, that are essentially intangible. Now, I think we discussed the meaning of intangible some time back. What is intangible? You will not be able to understand the service until and unless you consume it, right? So there is no chance that you find out what the service you are going to have, you're going to experience before you get it. So you have to experience it while you are getting it, and then only you'll be able to realize what the service that you got and the value of it. And remember, it also said, do not result in the ownership of anything. Right? So now I am delivering you this lecture, but don't try to own me. You can't own me. Right? So I deliver the lecture, you listen to my lecture, you consume it, and that's it. All you have is the experience that you got during the session. You will not own me, right? So what are the example? Banking, hotel, airline, etc. Now you have to look at the tangible spectrum, which we talk, or we call this tangible spectrum. Now when you look at the product, you have two ends. In a one end, you find pure tangible products. Pure tangible products. Before you buy, you can experience it, you can understand it, and you can really see, feel, and get a feeling or get a understanding about the product using your 5 senses. And on the other extreme, you find pure intangible. Those are the real services. Now, before you experience it, you have no idea what it is. For example, a haircut. Now, before you get the haircut, you have no idea what kind of a haircut you're going to get. So you have to allow the hair cutter to meddle with your hair, and at the end of the haircut you will realize whether you look good or whether you have lost, and whether you have tatte now, right? So basically, pure intangible products are things that you cannot understand before you buy, before you purchase, using your 5 senses. You have to understand it while you consume it or after consuming it. Now, what are the examples? Pure tangibles, we can say, okay, water bottle, a pen, bulb, salt, right? So kind of things like that. So you can see them, you can smell, you can touch, you can even have a sample. If it is a bulb, you can see whether it is working. If it is a pen, you write and see. ගියා මුදලාලි කිය ටක් ගාලා ලියලා දෙන්න. ලියලා ගන්න මාත්‍යා අරන් එන්න වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ දවස්වල බෝල් පොයින්ට් පෙන් තිබ්බා මතකද? බෝල් පොයින්ට් පෙන් එක බිම වැටුනොත් බෝල් පොයින්ට් පෙන් එක කැඩෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි අරන් යනවා. නෑ එහෙම බෑ. ලියලා අරන් ගිය බෑ. බල්බ් එක අරන් යනවා. බල්බ් එක දාලා බලන්න තමයි දෙන්නේ. පස්සේ ආයි අරන් එන්න බෑ. බල්බ් එක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා වෙන බල්බ් එකක්. So pure tangible products you can test and take, and physical products, right? And here pure intangible services, real services. Monad, financial advice. Then when you are in the share market, you are given advice. You are being told, invest in these shares. Now, invest in these shares is a advice given to you by your share broker or the fund manager. And now you have to invest and see whether you will get a return or whether he is right or wrong. Otherwise, how are you going to know? So you have to take his advice, invest and wait, and then at the end of the period, you will see whether his advice is good or bad. Same with medical services. Doctor, they give you medicine. Whether you will be cured or you will be dead is something that you have to understand after taking the medicine or going through the medical procedure, or going through the operation. Right? Haircut, hairdressers, photographic. Now, it's an interesting thing, no? Now, when you want to have your wedding, how to select the photographer? Now, if we make a mistake and don't take the proper photographs, are you going to marry again? Can you have your wedding again? You can't, right? So therefore, it's a very crucial decision for people. Crucial decision for people. I remember a friend of mine having a wedding, and he wanted some floral arrangements. So he went and booked the floral arrangement by looking at the photographs, and he said, I want this way, the flower arrangements. And he came on the wedding day, and it was a totally different flower arrangement, and this fellow's mood is gone. And even in the photos, you can see that he's having a very mad face, right? End of the day, he went and told them, I'm not going to pay you a cent. I'm not going to pay you a cent. And this guy was fighting. He says, see, I can correct it. He says, how are you going to correct it? Do you want me to have a wedding again? You can't correct it, but it's done, right? So similarly, I remember certain photographs being taken at events, at an event when I was schooling. It was, I think, kind of a very big event we had. The main photographer said, I can't come because I have another assignment. I'll send you one of my trainees. The trainee came and he has taken some photos, and we are really worried about us, the way we look in the photos, and we really don't want to give it to anyone. So ruined. We can't have the event again and ask him to take photographs. So you can't guarantee services before you consume it. Now, this is the challenge the marketers have. Now, the customers come to your bank and they say that we want to open an account and bank with you, and you are telling them, we will give you a superb service, madam. We will give you a superb service, sir. Now, the superb service is to be experienced over a period of time. So you tell them, we are the most friendliest bank. We are the most courteous bank. Right? Now, how do they know? They have to wait and see. They come with their money to you, and you will say, okay, we will manage your funds. We will manage your funds. We will make sure that we will invest it. How good your advisors, they are yet to realize. You go to a share broker with money. He tell you, don't worry, you come to me. I'll make you so rich. So you give your money and you take his advice and you invest. And sometimes you will become rich. Sometimes you will become even poorer than you were. So there is no guarantee that what they are going to get is this before they get it. So convincing people to come to a service organization and trust a service organization, trust a service person, and start relationship is very difficult. Most difficult thing is to get a client and start a relationship. Why? They are so afraid. They are so afraid. Now look at yourself. Now you are going to get married and you want to give someone to take photographs. Will you take the risk of giving it to a new photographer in the industry? Even if he says, I'm going to do it free, you're not going to give it. You will say, okay, you can work as a backup, but I have to go for a professional. And you will ask from your friends, you will search in magazines, you will go to the websites and search, you will go to the well-reputed photographers, look at their past photographs, and then only you will take that decision. Same with the bridal dressing, same with the makeup artist, same with the hairdresser, same with even the suit. You go for a branded place to have your wedding suit, and you will not take the risk of going to a normal guy or a person in the streets having a shop, just a shop without a good brand, to risk your wedding suit. So you are really worried in getting the services, and you are searching for some well-established people. So how can a new person get you to come in? It's a real challenge. So that's why I told you, service industry, getting customers is a real challenge. So the first wheel of the CRM, acquiring customers, is quite a challenge for any service organization compared to organizations that are selling products. Compared to organizations that are selling products which can be tested, felt, smelled, or experienced with the 5 senses before they purchase. Whereas the services, you can only talk to them and tell them to come, but there's no way to prove what the service you are going to give. So now I hope you understand why service marketing and relationship management for service industry is so important. Because the things that we talked, the referrals, satisfied customers endorsing your product, endorsing your organization, customers becoming advocates and talking good about your organization, repeat customers who will come to you, word of mouth. You now realize how important it is for a service industry. It is more important to services than product marketing or a company that offer products. So relationship management through CRM has more benefits to the service organization in comparison to other organizations engage in product marketing. I'm not telling it is not important for product marketing. It is. The physical products, it is important to everyone, but it is so much more important to services, right? So I'm sure now you understand about the first feature, the product. The second one is the price. Now what is the price? Price is the amount of money charged for product or service, or the sum of all the values that consumers exchange for the benefit of having or using the product or service. So how much I have to pay for the satisfaction? Now remember, people are not paying for the product. They are paying for the satisfaction. They're not paying for the product. Don't go to that misconception. You're not paying for the product. You're paying for the total satisfaction you're getting. So price is the amount of money charged for a product or a service, or the sum of all the values that the consumers exchange. That means all other expenses that they have to bear to get the benefit of having or using the product or service you offer. Now, there are a few things that you need to know about the price. Remember, price is the most flexible marketing mix element. Price is the most flexible. I saw a person when I was in Gold Face, just having a good time. A fellow who's selling kites, Sarungal. Now, this guy was selling kites, and there was this local couple, Sri Lankan couple, came with a kid to buy the kite, and this guy said kite is 50 rupees, and he said 50 rupees and 100 rupees you can buy a kite. So you can buy a kite with less complexity for 50 rupees and some better ones at 100 rupees. So this particular father and the son, they gave 50 rupees and bought a small kite, and then the little one was so happy he went running to play with the kite. And few minutes later, not even 2 minutes, few minutes later, a foreigner and a child came, and I saw that he seems to be a Westerner. So this foreigner came and asked, how much is a kite? This fellow told him 250 and 500 rupees. He showed the kites he sold at 50 rupees as 250, and the kites he sold at 100 rupees, 500 rupees. Now I got shocked. Apparently, the foreigner gave him 500 rupees, bought that the one that he told that better, and gave it to the child. Child went with a happy face to play with the kite. Now I went to him and I asked, the kites that you are selling at 100 rupees, why are you selling it at 500 rupees to the foreigner? Now he told me, sir, foreigner has enough money, right? They are dealing with dollars. So local fellows a different price, foreign fellows a different price. Now this kite seller, now how many minutes he took to change the price? 2 minutes. One person came, sold at 100 rupees. Another person came, sold at 500 rupees. I'm not telling he did a good thing. We should not do that to our foreigners. I'm not in line with what he did. I think it's a very unethical thing that he did. But I brought this example to tell you how fast people can change prices. We have seen this with the trishaw fellows and even the people who are in the in the public transport using buses. And most of the time I have actually seen how they differentiate price. Tuck, tuck, tuck. They change the price, especially when they see foreigners. And I have always stood against them because I feel now this is out of the real lesson on pricing. This is something to do with ethics. So I have always told them, these foreigners come to our land, we must not rip them off. So give them a better price, give them the same price that you offer to the locals. Perhaps you may have a little bit of a premium being foreigners, but still don't try to rip them off, telling them very exorbitant prices, because they will feel bad about our country when you try to rip them off with very exorbitant prices. So it's not a good thing to do, but people can always change their price unless there's a regulated price. You saw how people change prices on face masks during the COVID pandemic. Within a day they can change, within a minute they can change, customer to customer they will change. Similarly, they can reduce the prices also. So you will go to a place and they say, okay, I give you a discount now, but if you go out and come, I will not give you this. I give you 20%, then if you buy now, I'll give you. Not even a minute. He has taken the decision, reduce price. So remember, price is a very flexible thing for the marketers. Overnight, they can start promotions, they can reduce prices, give discounts, they can increase or decrease prices very quickly. But having said that, let me also tell you, price is the only element in the marketing mix that will produce revenues. All other elements represent cost. Therefore, when you change price, you are not playing with anything else, but you are playing with your profits. See, product place promotion, cost to the company. Total cost plus profit is the price. Now, price is the income to the company, and this is the only element in the marketing mix which generate income to the company. So you play with this, you are playing with your profits. So therefore, price competition is not something that we endorse in trying to gather customers or grab customers or increase your customer base. It's not a good strategy for a marketer. Marketer should work on product place promotion, on the extended marketing mix, the other three variables to make a differentiation, but price should be his last option, and most of the time should not be option. Because end of the day, if you try to change price, you reduce the price, your competitor will reduce the price. You reduce it further, your competitor will reduce it further. End of the day, entire industry will lose profits. So therefore, one advice to you is that don't play with the price. In our case, in the financial industry, don't play with the interest rate. Don't try to increase interest rate, reduce interest rate, and grab customers. Waive off fees, reduce fees, and grab customers. If you try to do that, actually you are playing with your profits. Now that is why the branch managers are so being advised. Now, as a branch manager, you can offer a higher rate and take deposits. But if you offer a higher rate and take deposit against your competitors, then you are having a portfolio, deposit portfolio, where your average interest rate is high. So when you lend, your net interest margin is low. And if you try to take at a higher cost deposits and lend at a lower rate, you are actually losing profits. So don't try to play with price. Price should be your last option. Play with other areas. Have a good product, good features, differentiate it, make it more convenient for people to buy, have good promotions, okay? Have nice people, make sure that they are comfortable when they come to your place, and you have good physical evidence. Make sure your processes are so simple and customer friendly. Now that is much better than trying to compete with price. So this is an advice to you when you are trying to build relationships. Now, another thing that you have to remember when dealing with customers, price is an indication of quality. How most of the people look at how most of the people judge quality of a service or a product is by looking at the price. Now, let's say that you go to Japan and your girlfriend tells you to buy an expensive perfume. Now, you go to Japan and you have perfumes for various prices. Now, let me ask you also this question, right? Now, let's say that you have you go to Japan and you have prices. Now, you have a perfume for $1, right? You have a perfume for $50. Sorry, you don't have perfumes for $1. So let's say you have a perfume for $25 and $50, and you have perfume for $150. Now let's take this example. Now you want to buy a quality perfume, and this whole information is in Japanese language. And now you want to bring a quality perfume to your girlfriend. Now what will you buy? What will you buy? Sachin, what perfume you will buy? 25, 50 or 150? Per bath? What perfume that you want to buy? Now your girlfriend has told to bring a quality perfume. What perfume you will buy? You guys are very silent. Being bankers, I don't think you guys are going to buy anything, right? Taparan is buying the $150 perfume. How about the others? So others are still wondering whether to buy or not, right? Give me some answers, will you? Taparan as a good, nice boy is buying the $150 perfume. How about the others? No, others are so silent. So some of you are thinking, well, is it really necessary to buy you something like that, right? Now, this question I have asked from several classes, and the guys in the classes say they will. I mean, there are very few people, good guys like Taparan, who will buy $150 perfume. Most of them they are telling we will buy $25 and the $50. And then I asked them the second question. Okay, when you come back to Sri Lanka, how much you are going to say that you spent on the perfume? Most of the guys, 90% of the guys who says that we are going to buy the $25 and the $150, they say they will tell to the girlfriend is $150. And when you give it as $150, how do you say that? You say, I have brought a very good quality perfume. It is $150. Not a joke, right? $150. Most of you may have bought it at $25 and $50, except for a few people like Taparan who are very genuine boyfriends who buy it at $150. So you come and whatever the price you buy, what you say $150. Why? You want to show that the perfume is so valuable, so that when it is valuable, you assume that it is quality. And what is your girlfriend is going to tell to her friends? Obviously not 150, right? She's going to tell them, my boyfriend brought a perfume. It's $250. High quality from Japan. See, you will say exaggerated price, because when you say that, your friends will say, oh, $250. So expensive. Should be a very quality one. Now, this is how you look at things. If the price is high, you think it's quality. Now, even when you want to buy certain things, you go and see, okay, what is the price? There are laptops. You want to buy a laptop. One laptop is 100 to 100,000. Other one is 150,000. What do you think the quality one? You will feel, okay, 150,000 a laptop is quality compared to 100,000. This is how you look at it. So remember, price is an indication of quality. When you have a higher price, people feel that the product has a higher quality. Now that is some kind of a psychological thing that the consumers have, and that's how the consumers work. Right? So that's about price. And then the distribution. Now we call this place, right? Okay, what is place? Place includes all activities in order to make the product available to target consumers in the right place at the right time. So at the right place, right time. So your banking services should be there to the customer whenever he needs and at his fingertips. So now you have to work towards that. So what is place in the first place? Place is where the matching of needs, wants and happens, and services are offered, information provided to the customers, transactions are completed, and trust is built. Now place can be anywhere. Place doesn't have to be your branch. Place can be anywhere where the customer's needs are and wants are being met, services are offered, informations are provided to the customer about the banks and its products, transactions related to your bank and the services are completed, and the trust is built. So traditional place for bankers or the finance companies is their branches. Now you talk about the branches, you say, okay, island-wide, 250, 350 branches, 400 branches. Come to our branch near to you. But at the same time, you also realize that you can't have a branch in every city. So what are the other options you have? Then you create off-site ATMs or concept centers. You say, okay, go to the concept center, you will have telebanking, you will have internet banking, you will have ATM. You go to our off-site ATMs, you will have the facility to check your balances, get a mini statement, deposit money, withdraw money. All comes under place. Now then the people will ask you, okay, now I want to have do my banking activities late in the night, around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. How can I do that? I want to do my banking while I am in India. Can you have branches all around the world? While I am in USA, I am in UK, I want to get into my bank account. How are you going to do it? Now that is where you introduce them internet banking. Internet banking. So you said, okay, fine. So at any time of the day, from anywhere in the world, log into the internet banking and get your services. Now that is where the customer satisfy needs and wants, services are offered, information is provided, transactions are completed. So place the customer is getting your service is now the website. Then the people will say, okay, we don't have time to get into the computers, we are so busy, we want it to our phone, and you give them mobile app. So get into our bank's mobile app, get your transactions done. So now what is the place? Mobile phone. You will during the COVID time, you saw the banks offering them home banking, right? So they say, okay, if you need money, you call us, we'll come with a portable mobile ATM. So you go to the town, you go to the doorstep and give the service. So where is the place? Place is the mobile ATM or the doorstep house of the customer. So place is anywhere where your customers meet your services, and you can differentiate the place to get the benefit. For example, when you are watching a cricket match, you want to order something to eat. Now you look at the options. Let's say some time back, you are looking at the options and someone says, okay, let's stop the cricket match, go buy some food and come. Now you're not going to do that. You say, fly a kite. We are not going to do it, right? We are watching a match and we can't stop the match and go. We want to have a product while we are watching the match. Okay, then someone will tell you, okay, Pizza Hut delivers products. Now how to order them? Order from your phone or order from the website. So tuck, they order, the pizza is delivered, they enjoy. Now when this happens, KFC is a choice but not taken because there was no delivery at that time. McDonald's was a choice, but not taken. There was no delivery. So what happened? McDonald's started delivery, KFC followed. Now today, Pizza Hut delivers, McDonald's delivers, KFC delivers. Now not only those, there are so many others also deliver, so that the consumer has a choice. When he wants something, some product, he will just call and get it done. And if you are not having, if you are not in the Uber, or if you are not in the pick me list, if you are not in the website, web arena, where people can order your food, sometimes they will not select you. When you are having projects in the bank, or when you are working late night in the bank, you want to order food. Gone are the days that you went out in search of food, going from outlet to outlet, or your preferred outlet. Now what you do? Now you look at the app. Okay, are they in the Uber? Are they in the Pick Me? Or are they having a website where, or a mobile app where I can order food? Because you don't want to go out of the bank. So you order, and if you are an organization who is not listed in Uber, Pick Me, or not having a mobile app, not having web services, you are sadly gone out of the business. So place is so important. So banks have differentiated it. Banks have gone from their traditional branches where customers have to travel kilometers to come and having restricted banking hours, to ATMs, to mobile phone banking, to mobile bank, to internet banking, and to mobile banking. So it's all what they talk is about place. Make availability of your services more conveniently to the customers, so that they will become satisfied customers and will retain with you, will have their relationships going with you. Otherwise you will not be able to maintain the relationships. So having talked about the three, the last and the most important one is the promotions. Now, promotions are the means by which an organization attempts to inform, persuade, and remind consumers, directly or indirectly, about the products they sell. Right? So now promotions are all about communication. They are trying to inform. Inform is tell them the product. For example, you have a savings account, you have minor savings account. So you tell the people, okay, we have a variety of savings account. We have minor savings account, senior citizen, teenage, and normal savings account. For professionals we have. So you inform, and you inform the features. You say, okay, our interest rate is this. We give 1% more for the children's minor savings account. For you will also say, okay, we give you an insurance cover, we give you some gifts, we give some vouchers, right? And you will say, okay, we are stable, and you provide information about the bank, right? So you give information about the product, about the features, about your organization, for the customers to decide whether they should bank with you or not. So that is one part of communication. The other part is persuasion. Now, persuasion is all about pushing people and getting them to do what you want. So you will tell them, sir, madam, why not you buy? Right? Okay, we'll give you a little bit of a higher rate. We'll give you 0.5% more. Come and deposit with us. We'll give you a faster service. We'll give you a one-day service. Get this loan from us. We will give you a personalized service and attention. Be our prestige customer. Okay. So these are persuasions. You give some offers, you go to them, talk to them, and give some incentives and try to get them in. Right? And then the other one is reminding customers, reminding them. Right? So you try to remind them also, we are the bank close to your heart. Right? And then if you really look at products like Sunlight, they have been there over the last several years, but still they advertise, not to give information or persuade, but to remind the brand. So you see some tinkles going on, right? For example, may Nestamol Pelawa, the time by Nestamol, and they only say Bale Jave Shakti. Right? That's all. Right? So a simple reminder, right? Or they will play a jingle, and when the jingle is played, you associate it with the product, like the Coca-Cola. Most of the time they play a music, and that music is related to the Coca-Cola, because we have seen that. So they are not sometimes trying to inform you or persuade you, because you are already informed about the product. They have their different persuasion campaigns, but they also run reminder campaigns. That is because they want to stay in the mind of the customer. However much matured you are as a brand, as a product, you want to stay in the customer's mind, and you don't want anyone else to come and take the place that you have taken in the mind of the customer. කස්ටමර්ගේ මනසේ ඔබ හැදූ තැන වෙන කෙනෙකුට අත්පත් කරගන්න ඔබ ඉඩ දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔබ නිරන්තරයෙන්ම කස්ටමර්ට මතක් කරනවා ඔබගේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක. So under promotions you saw 3 types of communication. Communication to inform, communication to persuade. Persuade කියන පොළඹවනවා ගන්න or product එක ගන්න පෙළඹවි. And communication to remind, මතක් කරන්න. කාටද? To whom? Consumers, directly or indirectly, about the products they sell. Right? So promotion is all about that. So what your bank is trying to tell to the customer, or the way that your bank is communicating with your customer, or your finance company or the insurance company communicating with your customer to inform about the products and the benefits the company to them, and to persuade them to come to your organization, right? And to stay with your organization, and remind them about your brand, so that they will remain happily with you, and they will continue to come to bank with you or stay with your organization. So all communication that you do should be properly planned and should have an integrated communication program. You should not do things in silos, but you should have a well-blended, synergized program. Now, marketing communication mix have 5 different types. Advertising, a paid form of communication, generally good for mass communication. So when you want to talk to millions of people, you do advertising. You do paper advertising, you do TV advertising, you do radio advertising, and with one advertisement, you talk to millions of people. Advertising is a paid thing, right? So you have to pay and do it. So therefore, there is a less credibility on advertising, because people know that you have paid and done that, right? And at the same time, you also exaggerate and create stories in advertising, and therefore people have a less credibility towards it, because people know advertising itself is an exaggeration. So you see in the Fair and Lovely advertisement, some girl who is not very fair, dark, apply the cream for about let's say some days or some weeks, and then suddenly that dark girl becomes a very fair, beautiful girl. And I ask you the question, have you seen anybody who has applied the cream like that and has suddenly turned from a very dark girl to a very fair girl? We don't have real life stories like that. I have also done that. I have not turned. I wonder whether you have practiced it and you have had an effect like that. So because we know that it will not happen in that way, but there is obviously an effect, but not to that extent. Not to that extent. And you suddenly find when you apply the cream, there are a lot of boys looking at you, and you are getting jobs, you are getting marriage proposals. Now, if that is so easy, then they will only use the creams to get everything done. Fairness creams. Now, nobody expects those to happen, because they know it's an exaggeration. Advertising is all about that. And you suddenly, the most dangerous advertisement I have seen is that men wearing some perfume and the girls jumping on the man. and I will never use that perfume because I don't want to break my spine. So once you apply the perfume, everybody comes and jumps on you because it's so good. Now we know that it will never happen. If it is happening, that is so good, but we jolly well know that it is exaggerating. It's a story, right? So that is all about advertising, right? So advertising is a paid form of communication that can address large number of people and carry the message about your product, information about your product, and persuade people, inform people, persuade people, remind people about your brand and the product. Then the sales promotion is quite different. Sales promotion is to induce your sales, improve your sales. That is where you give some incentives. That is where sometimes you will go and say from your bank, okay, open an account, we will put you the first 100 rupee deposit. So you sometimes go and do it for kids, right? So when a kid is born in the hospitals, you have sales promotions. You go and say, okay, we'll give you today, if you open accounts, we'll give you 100 rupees deposit free of charge from the bank. Or they say, okay, you put the deposit, we'll put another 10% of the deposit from the bank. Or you have some credit card promotions running. They say, okay, 50% off, 20% off today, spend for using your card. Those are sales promotions where the people are being persuaded to do the transactions and you earn money out of it. Then you have public relation activities where you try to build relationships with the stakeholders. Now, this is where you organize events. This is where you give advertisements, banners, Sonia advertisements, and then you also have public relations being practiced to build relationship with certain groups such as the media, the government, the local authorities, then the customers, the villagers, the other interested parties of your company. So public relations is all about building relationships to improve the image of your organization and to protect the image of your organization. Then you have personal selling, where people go and sell person to person. This happens mostly in premier banking and corporate banking, where your relationship managers meet your customers individually and you target some top-end customers, good profitable customers, and you meet them personally to sell your products. Then you have direct marketing, where you take databases and you offer tailor-made unique offers to them directly without any intermediary, and where you have a direct communication with them. And nowadays it is more interactive with the social media platforms and the applications and the technology. But the essence of it, or the concept of it, is that you select some target group, target base, or target set of customers, and then you approach them directly. This is where you send direct mails, direct emails, right? Or you initiate calls to the selected clients, or from the websites you send them links, and or else from the Facebook you communicate with them directly. Right? So directly approach the selected targeted client. So that is going under direct marketing. So these are the 5 types of totally different but targeted on one objective, that is to communicate, remind, inform, and persuade customers about the products you sell. So companies, when they have their communication plans, they blend these 5 different types of communication methods, the avenues, and they have synergized or integrated marketing communication mixes, where the message about the product goes to the customer in such a way that the customer is informed, persuaded, and reminded about the products, so that you keep the relationship going and you acquire more customers to your organization. Now, all what we discussed up to now is the traditional 4 P's of marketing, that is product, price, place, promotion. Now, having discussed those, we understand we are in the service industry, and although we have these 4 P's which has been developed long time back, before the service industry was so popular. When we are dealing with service industry, we cannot forget people, processes, and physical evidence, which can be differentiated by the marketer in selling their products and in attracting clients. Now, what we will do is, we will take a small break and then we will come back to discuss about the extended marketing mix. Extended marketing mix, right? Fine. So now the time is 10:30. So we will meet up again at 10:50. 10:50, 20 minutes break. So we will meet up at 10:50. And during that break, I would like you to think critically, because I'll be asking you at the end of the session, each one of you have to give me an answer. How marketing mix helps to build, how an understanding about the marketing mix will help a banker to build relationship with the customer, or a marketer to build a relationship. Or else you can also argue very simply how marketing mix is important in order to have an effective CRM. So I at the beginning told you CRM has a link to the marketing mix, because to build the whole satisfaction or the start of the relationship, you must have something to offer. You can't just have a relationship. So what that offering is what we are discussing. That is the marketing mix. So how valuable it is. So I would like you to think about a nice answer with some practical examples and give it to me at the end of the session. So we'll take a break and we'll meet up at 10:50. Right. Welcome back. So I'm sure you have thought of the question that I have already asked you. In the meantime, let's continue the presentation and ask the question later. Now, the services, when the services was introduced later and the services began to become very popular among the people, I'm sure all of you can listen to me, right? All of you hear me? Can you give me a yes to on the chat if all of you can hear me and see the presentation? Can you all respond me with a yes if you can see me and you can see the presentation? Okay, thank you. Right. So later, now this marketing mix concept earlier was developed for products, and then later when the services became very popular in the market, they came up with 7 P's where they added another 3 elements, because they found that when dealing with services, the marketers can talk about 3 more variables where they can differentiate, where they can change in order to provide a different marketing experience, a different market offer to the customers. Now, those are the people, processes, and physical evidence. So you had the traditional ones, they came up with physical evidence, processes, and people. And what they said is, now traditionally, you change product, price, promotion, place, and offer a different marketing mix to the target consumers compared to competitors. Now, at the same time, for services, they said you can work on people, processes, and physical evidence to differentiate your marketing mix, to make your marketing mix better than the competitors, and focus in satisfying the customer needs profitably better than the competitor. So they came up with these 3 variables very specifically, and let's look at it and see why they came up with those 3 variables and whether it is really valid for service industry. Now, the first thing they came is about the people. So what they said is that you can change people and change the experience, or change the market offer that you give to the clientele or give to the target market. Now, is it right or wrong? Now, all of you know, in the service, when we are describing or discussing the features of the services, we said the service provided cannot be separated from the person who provides it. So therefore, we now understand the quality of the service or the service per se is dependent on the person who provides it. Now, you can see the hairdresser here. Now, the service the hairdresser is providing to this customer is completely dependent on the skill, attitude, and the expertise of this hairdresser, this particular person, right? And if this one is an expert doing a good job, then this customer will be satisfied. The same organization, same company, if they have hired a person who's less competent, less expert, low expertise, this customer will be dissatisfied. So it can be the same salon, but the services provided will change or will differ from the person who provides it. An expert will provide a better service than a novice. Now that is one of the reasons that most of you guys go to the salon and wait for your preferred or the purudu emadatta, the person that you that has been doing your hair for a long time. You wait for that person. You will say, okay, I will wait for him. He may have 2 more customers to finish, but you still wait rather than going to a new person because you are sure about the service that you're going to get. Right? So that is one of the reasons. Now, when the ladies go to do their makeups or whatever the facials or whatever the experience, they'll wait for their preferred person or the known person to come and do it. So they will not just take it from anybody. And even the guys, the boys, they will not take a haircut from any person in the salon. Generally, they wait for their preferred person. So that is why, because they want to get a better experience. Similarly, now in the same bank, if you have more than 300 branches, 300 branch managers will serve customers in 300 different ways. 300 different ways. So the branch, the customers visiting branches, 300 branches will have 300 different experiences. 300 different, totally different experiences. Why? Because they are meeting 300 different people. Having said that, you look at the ATM network. You have 300 ATMs. Every customer goes to the ATM, will have the same experience. Same buttons, same message, same dispensing mode. They get their cash and they go away. So you can have same type of ATMs being located in 300 branches and make sure that your customers get same service whatever the branch they go. But having said that, you also understand you can't have 300 branches and make sure the customer get the same service from all 300 branches, because you're going to have 300 different managers and totally different staff, 300 different staff card in your branch. So it's quite a challenge for a service organization, especially like a bank which is having large amount of branches, a large branch network, insurance companies, to finance companies, to ensure the quality of service among the network. So what do? They have to continue training people, grooming people, recruiting the right talent, have certain service standards, preset service level agreements being prepared to make sure at least same practices, standards, policies are practiced across the branch. So it's quite a challenge. Now that is why sometimes people come and say, I don't like the bank. I don't go to this particular bank. Now if you really drill down and ask him why, he will say, I don't go to that bank because of this particular person. Because this person gave me a wrong service. But remember, if he goes to another bank, he will go to another branch, he might find the bank is not at fault, but the branch he went and the person who served him is the person, is where the problem is. But for a customer, it doesn't matter who serves him. He looks at your organization as the bank. So he may have had a bad experience with the call center. He may have had a bad experience with the card center. He may have had a bad experience with X branch or Y branch. And he will not look at it as a branch or in silos, but he will say this bank. So you understand how important it is for you to have proper recruitment, proper training, proper monitoring of individuals, selecting people to provide the right service to the customers in a very friendly and a courteous manner. So people relates to all personnel dealing with delivering the marketing experience to the target audience. So therefore, what are the competitor banks do? The competitor banks will search in the industry who are the best people. If there is a good branch manager having good relationship with the customer, the competitor banks will offer them twice the salary, double the package, and will tell, come to my bank. So the branch manager in the X bank in the A branch will move to Y bank to the B branch. So today the manager in a particular bank branch, tomorrow he may be in another bank branch. So what's happening? He will not ask the customers, but sometimes the customers who have been getting good service from that particular manager may slowly go to him and open accounts with him as well. So with the branch manager moving, he will also take a set of customers with him. Same with the relationship managers, same with your experienced bankers. When they move, if they are very good service personnel, the customers also will move. If they are expertise, they will also move. So an organization can hire experts, can hire good people and improve the service standards to make their experience with the customer better than the competitor. So they can change their recruiting, they can change their people and give a different experience to the customer. So it's a controllable tactical tool. Now, same with the hospitals, right? Now, when you want to go to a hospital, you are not bothered about the machines or the building. You are bothered about the doctors and nursing, right? So if you have expert nurses and then good doctors coming into a hospital, you will obviously go to that hospital. When you have a consultant, very experienced consultant, well-known consultant, move from one hospital to another hospital, the patients will automatically move from that hospital to the new hospital. Now that is why the hospitals actually look after their doctors very well. Now that is why a bank or a finance company should look after their staff very well. In that case, forget about all this. Any service organization must make sure that they look after their people and make sure that their people are treated right, trained proper, and then recruit the right people, retain the right people, groom the people so that they can provide a better experience and protect their market share, protect their customers, and make the customers satisfied, happy. So now, who are the right people? People with right competence, people with the right attitude, who can deliver the service and make the customer happy. So this is the most crucial thing. If you don't look after your people in the service industry, you will certainly have a very hard time, because you may replace the position but certainly not the person and the service that person have been provided. And you will certainly have a huge impact when you meddle with a good service person who have been having a good network relationship with clients. So to maintain good customer relationships, you have to understand that people factor plays a major role. So this was introduced with the services to the marketing mix and the extended marketing mix, and it was told that like you change the product distribution channels, you can also change the people and give a different experience to the customers. So that is the value of people. Now let's look at the physical evidence, right? Now these are three things: physical evidence, processes, and people, right? Let's look at the process first, right? Processes. What is the process? All procedures, systems, and policies the consumer need to go through in dealing with the organization. Now this is where your consumers talk about filling applications, giving documents, having discussions, right? Looking at your product portfolio, looking at the interactions between you and the customer. Now, process is a set of steps, set of interrelated steps that a customer will follow or customer will go through in getting your service. So how you will make it better is that you have to look at from the customer's point of view about the process that he has to go through in order to get your services from the bank. And if you can make it more customer friendly, more customer convenient, then the customers will feel happy. But if you make it more complex and customer will find it very inconvenient, then the customers will not be satisfied. So they said by changing the process that a customer will go through to get a service, you can create a better experience to the customer. Now that is where the manual process is converted to automation. The automation is now converted to digital, right? In order to make the process easy and quick. Easy, less effort. Quick, time, less time. Right? And make sure he is comfortable. Now, when a customer comes to you and enter his demographic details once, now why on earth you ask him to fill his details again and again? Now, that is what happened in the manual system, right? You come and open an account today, and when you go to open the second account, again you have to fill details. FD, again you have to fill details. Current account, again you have to fill details. What are you filling? Name, NIC, address, telephone number. Now, it is already there with you. Very simple. But for the customer, it's a major hassle. So the automation, and even after the automation, the digitalization is looking at making these processes easier and reduce unnecessary non-value adding steps from the processes to make the process of getting the service more convenient to a client. Right? So remember, by making it different, you can get an advantage. For example, now some people advertise this also. They say tak gala leasing, dawaseng loan, right? So they talk about quickness in the process. Ikmanata, 24-hour housing loan approval. No hassle, no worries, no queues. All they're talking about process. And they also say processes like open your account digitally, go to a machine, and then you open your account, take your card and go. So process was made very simple. Right? So now today, you know, there are banks Where the traditional banking channel, you have to go there, sit with the person, fill all the forms, give documents, and spend time and do, and then wait for your card and all that. But today, you can go to a bank. There are some virtual machines. So you sit in front of a machine, and then you fill your details. You scan your ID copy, right? And then you put your fingerprint. The machine will take a photograph, and sometimes you can connect with a back-end person who will have a chat with you, and then your passbook is issued, and then your ATM card is issued, and then your PIN number is issued. Now, within few minutes, you have opened and done your account. You have never gone to a branch. You have done it at your own convenience, going to a virtual machine. Possible. Those days you have to go to open fixed deposit when the bank is open. But today you may go to the internet banking and convert your money in the savings to a fixed deposit in an instant, few minutes. So processes are becoming so simple, and the banks who can make it more simple and quicker will gain advantage over other banks. Because people will say, it's easy to deal with this bank. Easy to deal means your process is simple, your process is custom oriented, and the process has two parts. That is, it will have less time and less effort for the customer to get the service. So marketers can change the processes, improve the processes in order for them to give a better experience to the clients and make it better than the competitors. Now, one of the example for a process can be given from Pizza Hut also, from another industry. Right? Now, you see, they have to deliver pizza within a limited amount of time. Now, for example, here the Domino's pizza say 30 minutes delivery. 30 minutes delivery. The delivery experts. Now, you have to understand, for a pizza to be delivered within 30 minutes to a customer, it is not an easy task. They have to gather the details of the order, process the details. The kitchen must get the accurate order. The kitchen has to prepare the pizza, pack the pizza, give it to a rider, and rider should ensure that it is properly packed so that the freshness is protected and it is warm, and then drive as fast as possible, taking the shortest route, and deliver within 30 minutes to the customer. Now, this is quite a challenge, right? Now, this is where your processes comes into play. Unless you have a well-tested, drafted, practiced process, you can't give this guarantee to the customer. So for you to give this service guarantee, make the customer happy, you must have your processes right. You must have your processes right. Now, this is a service guarantee, right? You say 30 minutes delivery. 30 minutes delivery. That the customer will now expect you to come within 30 minutes. If you don't come within 30 minutes, dissatisfaction. Come within 30 minutes, satisfaction. Satisfaction will create a repeat purchase. Dissatisfaction, next time they say, oh, 30 minutes, 30 in. They will say 30 minutes, they will never come at 30 minutes. Dissatisfaction. They might go for another competitor. Right? So when you give a service guarantee, you are creating a burden on you, and you must meet the guarantee for you to get a satisfied customer. So we talked about processes and people. Now we are moving to another interesting area, that is physical evidence. Now, physical evidence. Now you might ask me why physical evidence is so important. Now, what is physical evidence? Physical evidence deals with all aspects of giving tangibility to the intangible service offered to the customer. Now, when a customer comes to a place, how can he get some idea about the service he is getting? Now, I have been asking my marketing students, if you have been asked to go to I would say a village Now let's say that you have been assigned to the bank and the bank has now transferred you outstation. You go to outstation branch, you have no idea about the place. Now you need to have a haircut. So you go to the town, you have no one to ask because you are new, no one to give you any recommendation. So you go to the town, you walk and you see some salons. Now if you have nobody to ask, how do you decide to which salon you will go? Let me ask you this question. How do you decide to which salon you should go? What are the things you look at? Now you have nobody to ask, but let's say you have 3 different salons. Now, how do you select a salon? What are things you look at? So you tell me about how you are selecting a salon. So we have some people here. Price. So you only look at the price, right? Location, someone says. Okay. Price and location, right? So location means now you are in the city, right? You are in the city and the salons are close by. Yes, Suranga wanted to say something. Yes, Suranga. Suranga, are you speaking or I can't hear you? Suranga was trying to speak. Appearance of the salon. So Karunaratna say appearance of the salon. Kalpana, what are things you look at when you want to select a salon? Kalpana is very silent. Right. So others, what are things, right? Suranga, how exciting customers deals with. What is that, Suranga? How exciting customers deals with? මොකක්ද ඒ කිව්වේ? Customers ලා යන ප්‍රමාණයද? සුරාගේ voice එක ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ මම යන්නේ. In the customers ප්‍රමාණය. How many customers there will be? Present customers, right? So you look at the number of customers. Right. Now, I don't know, unfortunately we are on an online class, so I can't get more feedback from you. But when we were doing the physical hair testers qualifications, right? So when we are doing the classes physically, we used to ask this question, and most of the people, they say they look at the salon. Right? If the salon is clean and if the person who's giving the haircut is properly dressed, and when they look at the equipments are clean. The scissor, the chairs, and then whatever material they use, those are very clean and branded. Right? If they see the branded material, right? And as someone said, the Suranga said, there will be some awards and qualifications displayed about the hairdresser and the salon. By looking at those, they said that they will decide out of the 3 to which salon they will go. Now this is what is happening to you. Now when you want to get an assessment about the service, what you look at is the physical evidence. Because I told you at the beginning, you can't have any idea about the service you are going to get unless you get it. So how will you find evidence about the service you are going to get? You look around. You look around. You look about the person who's delivering the service. කොහොමද පුද්ගලයෙක් හොඳද නරකද කියලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොයන්නේ? පුද්ගලයෙක් හොඳද නරකද කියලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොයන්නේ by looking at the face and the dress. වෙන මොකුත් නෙමෙයි. Later only you will speak, right? First, now that is the normal human nature, right? So when you see a nice person, you get attracted. That is how the law of attraction works, right? First, the outer appearance. So if someone is having a nice, smart look, then properly dressed, you feel that person is good. So this is how the human nature works, the human psychology works, right? Now that is why some of the people say you have to properly dressed, have a proper pen and a good watch, and then have your shoes polished. So there are so many other advices given for you in terms of grooming. Now why is that? Because outer appearance of you will give the first indication to the person whether you are a good person or a bad person, irrespective of who you really are. Later only they realize who you are after dealing with you and after talking to you, by listening to you and then looking at what you do, your deeds, words and deeds. That is secondary. But what is the first evidence that you seek in order to assess a person? That person's appearance and the dress. So that's why you have in the bank say you have to have a dress code, right? So a dress code will include a light color dress and then a tie, and they will tell you, okay, whether you should wear saris or skirt and blouse, whether you should wear uniform, whether you should wear kind of a special dress, right? And also they might tell you you should not wear sandals, you must wear shoes. Now why is that? When a customer walks into a branch or a bank, they should see professional people. Now for them to see professional people, a professional image need to be created first from the outer appearance of the people who are working there. So the person walks in, they look at who's going to deal with my account, who are the people, and when they see properly groomed, a person with a tie, nicely groomed, very friendly, fair, smart guy, smart girl, now they are happy. Okay, these people are the people who are going to work with my account, and they look good. They seems to be professional. They seems to be nice people, right? But if they see a shady fellow who is not properly groomed, not properly combed his hair, not properly shaved himself, right? Not having a tie, opening few buttons, they see, okay, who's this fellow who's going to handle my money? Seems like a robber. I should not give my money to him. They will be worried. So they don't want people who look like robbers to work in banks, but they expect people who are having a professional outlook to work in banks because they are going to deposit their money. They are going to deposit their money in the bank, right? So therefore, whatever the service that they are going to get, they first take evidence, or they first look at the appearance of the people before they make a decision what kind of service they're going to get. Now, not only that, they also look at the bank. Now, whether this bank is stable or not, how are they going to look at? They can obviously look at the balance sheet and the P&L, which is the right thing to do, and the ratings. But nevertheless, most of the people, when they walk into a bank, they expect the bank to be a proper place, a nice place, right? So you must have air condition, you must paint and have a good outlook, right? Properly painted, and then good furniture, good lighting, proper lighting, right? And then some things like television, some ornaments, right? And then maybe some nice pictures to make the customer feel that he has gone to a good place, stable bank, right? He has gone to a stable bank. He has gone to a bank which is very stable and having enough money to, and he should not worry depositing his money. Now if there's a problem with your AC and if you put fans, there are customers who come and ask, "Hey sir, fan dala, why are you having fans? Is there a problem?" They're asking. Right? If you don't paint your branch, they are saying, "I may paint karna the." Do you have a problem with painting? And what they're asking is there a problem with the bank? Because for the normal general people, they look at those things to see how stable you are. And you must have now banks, they generally have very strong, tall buildings. Why is that? That is, when they go into the branch, they must feel, okay, this bank is stable. Now, all these things affect the psychology of the customer. And then what are the other things they look at? The material. Now, they want to have a fixed deposit, and the fixed deposit certificate that you give matters to the customer. If you give a very nice, high quality fixed deposit certificate, they think, all right, very good bank, right? See the quality of the certificate. Same with the passbooks, same with the cards that you offer. They look at those things to get an idea or to assess the service that you provide. Now, remember, this has nothing to do with the service. These are evidence. These are evidence that you have to show the customer that this is the type of service you're going to get from us, because the customer has no other way to understand it. So quality material, quality lighting, the outlook, the people properly dressed, smart looking, nice people, all these things, end of the day, gives a message to the customer, you are dealing with a stable bank. And if you don't have that, then they'll have a question, is this bank stable? Are they okay? Are they having problems? All these things will come to. That is why we talk about reputation a lot when it comes to the physical evidence. And branch managers are specially advised to make sure the physical evidence is properly maintained, so that the people who walks into a branch will have a pleasant feeling towards the bank, and his physical evidence will endorse the bank's stability and the ability to serve the customer. Even the material that you use, the quality of the material is so important, and those are managed. And you can't just use whatever things you want. Even when you use the Vesak lantern or the Christmas tree, those things also matters, which will, in order to show the reputation, the stability, and the image of your bank, which ultimately gives the confidence to the customer to take the services from you. So physical evidence, remember, plays a major role. Sorry about it. So now we discussed about the extended marketing mix, which is more related to services. So we are in service marketing. So what matters to us most is this extended marketing mix. So we have to know that we have to have a good product, and it should be properly priced. We should give information about our product to the customer in a convincing manner. We have to inform them about our product. We have to persuade them to buy our product, and we have to remind the customers about our products. And we must make sure that our services are delivered to them in a very convenient manner, where they can enjoy our services with less effort and less time. And for that, we need to have a good distribution channel, a place. And banks, certainly, you know that they're now using face-to-face and non-face-to-face channels, remote channels. Face-to-face is the branch. In Sri Lanka, the traditional branch network still have its own benefits and merits. So most of the banks have a large number of branches. At the same time, the banks, to expand their services, goes to things like the internet banking, mobile banking, digital banking, where the customer has no boundaries in getting the service. So place matters to a customer to decide about the value he gets in banking with you. And then we talked about people, and we said that the people factor plays a major role because service that is being provided to a customer depends on the person who provides it. And by changing the people, you can change the experience the customer will get. You can always change a bad branch manager, a person with a negative attitude, and get a positive branch manager coming in to protect and get more profits of the branch and get protect the customers or give a better service to the customer. At the same time, you have to protect the good branch managers or good people within your organization, and there is always a chance that you as a service organization to hire a good service provider from another bank and differentiate your service and make it better. Now, processes, we said, are the steps, interlinked steps the customer has to follow to get the service. So you have to make sure that the processes are customer friendly and prepared looking at the customer's point of view, and the process should be easy and quick. So less effort, less time. Then we talked about physical evidence, the evidence that the customer will seek in order to get an idea about the service that your organization will provide. And we said the customer has no way of understanding the service he is going to get before he gets it. So therefore, he looks at the physical evidence to understand the service he's going to get from your organization. So you have to make sure the physical evidence is properly displayed, properly in place, in order to have an idea to the customer about the service he's going to get from your bank or the institution. Right, now let's look at some examples. Now let's look at an organization like Pizza Hut. Now I was talking to you, one thing I missed is that I was talking to you about the product tangibility spectrum, and I told you there are tangible products and there are intangible products. Let me go to that slide. Right, I told you that now this is a slide. I told you that there are pure tangible products and pure intangible products. Now this is something I didn't explain to you. There are hybrids as well. Hybrids. Now what are the hybrids? Now hybrid, part of it you can get an idea before you get that product. Part of the product is pure services, so that you have no idea what it is. Now for example, you can talk about a hotel or a restaurant. Now you can see the building, the chairs and the ambience. Those things you can judge before you get the service or before you get whatever the requirements. So you will look at the buildings, the facilities, the furniture, and you will say, okay, this is a good hotel, so you go there. But what matters to you most is the service. Now the service you can't judge. Now you go to the hotel today, you will get a good person and he will give you a superb service. Right? He will give you food on time, he will serve you drinks on time, he will make sure that you are comfortable at your room, he will make sure that your room is clean, and he will give you guidance, support you, help you with your inquiries. So you will get a superb service. Now this is something that you will never know until you go to the hotel or the restaurant. Now once you go in only, you will get the person and that person will provide you the service. So you have no idea. But the hotel, the look and the ambience and the location and whatever the facilities, you can check. For example, if you are planning your branch trip, you can go to a hotel and have a look at the rooms, the facilities, the location, the pool, you can see. But when your branch people goes to the hotel to spend the day, how the hotel people will treat them, you have no idea. So part of it you can check, part of it you can't. Right? So this can change. This is what we talked about variability some time back, right? So to a restaurant, when you go in the morning, the people will be happy, joyful, and they support you. They are very friendly. But if you go when they are about to close the restaurant, they will become hostile. Now, same with most of you also, right? When a customer comes when you are free in the morning, you are very happy, joyful, and trying to serve. But if a customer comes during the lunchtime where you have a huge queue, or when you're about to close your teller box, you will not give the same service with the same happiness that you might provide him when you are free. Right? So things can change. So there are hybrids like the restaurants, the hybrid things, right? So you are part of it, you can check, part of it you can't check. Part of it is pure service, part of it is tangible. So this is something that I couldn't tell you. Right. So Pizza Hut, right. So when you can go to the Pizza Hut and you can have a look at the products and have an idea, but how you will be served when you sit in the Pizza Hut, how you will be treated, how fast they will, how quickly they will prepare the pizza and bring it to you, right? How well they give you suggestions, right? How nicely they talk to you, how friendly the staff will be, you have no idea. But with regard to the taste of the pizza and the type of the pizza that you are ordering, you have some idea. But you have no idea about the service that you're going to get. So Pizza Hut is also kind of a hybrid that you see, right? So now when you go to Pizza Hut and ask their marketing mix, first thing product. Now you can see there are a lot of products, right? You have starters, salads, pizza, pasta, beverage, dessert. In Sri Lanka, you have biryani also, right? So and in the pizza range, you have classic, supreme, premium, and then Indian style, Western. So much of variety in terms of product. Small pizzas, the personal pizzas, medium, large, thin crust, cheesy crust, right? Traditional. So totally huge product portfolio. So the Pizza Hut can continue to change their products. Now they come up with various varieties, flavors, right? So they give you products, and then they have pricing, right? So they look at the whole industry, the competitors, and they give you a pricing, right? They give you pricing, and sometimes exclusive prices for online ordering, and they can change prices whenever they want, right? They can reduce prices, increase prices, give combo prices, right? Or special promotional prices, promotional offers. So they price, and then they have delivery channels. So they take orders from the phone. You can order online, you can order using a mobile app, or you can go to a branch and order, or you can get your delivery. You can get dine or get it to your home. So whole lot of different delivery channels, and they have promotions, right? Buy one get one free, 50% off, 50% off for online pizza, hot pair deals only 30 ringgits, right? So you get one and you can pair another dish. Now these are promotions. So now you saw the product, they have different prices. So they have different prices for supreme range, classic range, likewise for the large, personal, medium, totally different prices based on the range, based on the type of pizza. So they have prices, and then they change prices, they increase, decrease, give you combo prices, so on and so forth. Now this is about the promotions. Now here you are talking about the persuasions. Okay, buy one get one free, 50% off. Pair up, you get a one, another product is free. We'll give you a pair up one. So things like that, and you might get information about your pizza on a brochure, right? So inform, and they run certain jingles and tinkles on television, radio to remind you about pizza. They send you messages to remind you to come to the Pizza Hut and enjoy a pizza, right? So they do the promotions, right? So here the delivery is Now this is the process. Now see the process. Now Pizza Hut delivery process. They take the order on. They all take the order, and they give the order to the kitchen. So the kitchen has to make sure that whatever the order that they got is properly prepared, and then they pack it and give it to the riders. Then the riders have to go and deliver it. And for all these things, they have standard timelines. They have standard service level agreements, and within that particular period, everybody has to work. Now, to do that, they have service level agreements. Okay, the caller will say, the moment I pass to the kitchen can take only this much of minutes, the packer can take only this much of minutes, the rider can take only this much of minutes, so that he can give a guarantee to the customer. Okay, when you order a pizza, you will get it within 30 minutes, or you will get it within 40 minutes. So they can guarantee. So the caller himself says, sir, don't worry, within half an hour, we will deliver your pizza to you. Based on the distance, you might change a little bit, but then you can tell in advance, give a guarantee in advance, service guarantee. Now that is because you can create a process, proper process, right? So here the people, jovial, happy people who will come and serve you the pizza. Now the pizza should be served in a way that you will not burn your mouth when you eat it, right? So at the right temperature, they come and serve it to you. They will give you the plates, they will clean the place, and then they will happily take your order. They will smile, they will say hi to you, and then they will come and give you the pizza, and they will say, do you want anything more? Now this courtesy, the service, the happiness, friendliness is delivered by who? The whole experience is delivered by the staff, the people factor. Then the physical evidence. You go to a Pizza Hut, it's a nice environment, right? So you enjoy the environment and the ambience. You're happy, right? It's a nice place. It looks good. You can take a person and have a chat. You can take your family, and then you see that it's very clean, right? Nice pictures, nicely painted, proper lighting, uniformed staff. These are all physical evidence that we're talking about, right? So that's about now kind of experience, kind of a practical example how this marketing mix works. Now look at a brand, look at a bank. Now if you look at savings accounts, I have taken Sampat Bank as an example. So they have their normal accounts with the bonus interest. They have children's account. They have Sanghinda Seva for senior citizens. They have professional accounts. They have except for teenagers. They have ladies first only for ladies. Different products. So different savings accounts for different segments. Now these are product range. And then pricing. Now they talk about the interest rates. Okay, they say, okay, this is the interest for this slab. This is the bonus interest for this slab. Right? Savings account, okay, this is the rate. And then they might say, okay, ladies first account, this is the rate. For children's savings account, these are the rates. Teen savings, this is the rate. So they give you the pricing. Right? So they give you the pricing. Now they give you the pricing looking at the industry, looking at the requirement of the bank, right? And to make sure that they retain the customers. Now all those things have to be looked into in deciding a price. You can't just decide a price, right? So you have to look at the industry, the regulations, the customer relationship, maintaining the relationships, right? And then the requirement of the bank. Looking at all those things, they decide the price and they offer the price. So when a customer comes to your bank, he will not just take an account. He will not just say that I want a children's savings account, but he will ask you the question, okay, what is the rate? What is the rate? What is the interest rate? Compared to industry, what is the difference? Right? So all these things. Right? And then the delivery channels. The bank has traditional banking, traditional branches. Now they also have super branches where they have extended opening hours, right? And at the same time, they have ATMs, right? So if there is no branch, the customer can go to the ATM and get things done, right? And then they have online banking, the internet banking. They have digital banking, 10 digital channels, right? And then they have mobile banking. They can use a mobile app and do their banking. Right? And then the promotions. So they come up with communication about the rates, the benefits that they have to the customers, right? So interest twice a month. Now information, it gives you information. Hey, look here, you open this, you get interest twice a month, right? And then annual interest rates, information, right? And then discounts. 50% off, 2,000 partner outlets island-wide for Sampath cards, right? Promotions, and then promotions again, medical card for senior citizens. So with the Sanghida Seva senior citizen account, you get this card. Now this is a promotion where you persuade customers to come and open accounts with you. So you give information, you persuade, and you remind customers about you under communication. Right? So now you have seen some examples also, right? Okay, so what we did today is we discussed about the marketing mix, what you offer to the customer, right? Now, having said that, let me show you a link to you. Right? So you have an organization, that is the bank. You have customers here. Now, this customer has needs, wants. So now, to build a relationship with this customer, forget about anything. To build a relationship with this customer, you must meet the need of the customer. When you meet the need of the customer, you will satisfy the customer. Now, if you don't meet the need, there will be no satisfaction. If you satisfy the customer only, you will have all these things: repeat purchase, loyalty, referrals. Now, how do you satisfy the customer? To meet the need, what do you offer? Question is, what do you offer to meet the need? What do you offer to meet the need? Now that is where you talk about marketing mix. You talk about marketing mix. So you understand, this is where the whole relationship starts, right? So you don't have satisfaction, there will be no relationship. If you have the satisfaction only, you will create relationships. Now, relationships will give all these benefits. Now, this is a link. Right? This is a link. This is why we have discussed about marketing mix, for you to get an understanding under CR. So unless you offer meet the need of the customer by offering a proper customer oriented marketing mix, you will never be able to create relationships and continue with relationships. And if you want to grab the customer, you have to meet the need better. So to meet the need better than the competitor, you need a better marketing mix. You need a better marketing mix. Otherwise, you can't. So now you understand why we discussed about marketing mix under the CRA session. Okay. Fine. So I think we are very much done with our session today. Do you all have any questions? What do you think? With all what we discussed today, any questions? Now, I prefer you talk to me, right? Or share your experience about what we discussed today. Those are all welcome, right? And doesn't matter what is the language is. Whether you want to speak in English or Sinhala, it doesn't matter. You can speak in any language you want. But important thing is to give the feedback, clarify things if you are not clear. And also you might also share your experience. Right? What when I discuss with you, you can say, okay, yes, something like this, and then talk about. So any feedback? Any questions, clarifications from your end? Champika, any clarifications, questions? Suranga, Karyaperma, if you have any, let me know. Kalpana, Anuradha is silent today. If you have any questions, let me know. Taparan. So, do you all have anything to clarify, or are you clear with everything that we discussed and the link between the marketing mix and why it is so important to a person who wants to engage in CRM? Because unless you have a proper marketing mix being built and you give attention to it, you will not be able to run a good CRM program just by trying to gather data and trying to make the customers happy. Right? Clear? Any questions? Any clarifications? Okay, what I will do is I will upload these slides to you. Are you going to do a separate lesson for service marketing? No, there's no separate lesson. This is all about that, right? So under service marketing, we are talking about the difference between the services, the unique features. We discuss those: intangibility, non-separability, inseparability, variability. We discussed at the first lecture. And today we discuss the extended marketing mix. Now this is how the whole thing is going. What you are learning is all about service marketing. See, our intention is not to do a marketing class. So if you really look at marketing mix, it's a huge session for a marketing class. But what we are giving you is the essence or the required amount of knowledge for you to have an idea as to how you should work in developing a CRM program and what is this marketing mix that you have to deal with in order to make sure that you have proper relationship with the customer. So we are doing the session only on that context. But certainly you have a good idea about the concept, but it is not a lengthy marketing lecture where you go into details. In the marketing lecture, we'll talk about one by one, taking product in one session, promotion one session. So it's not like that. So it's a general idea. Right. Any other things? So let's say the chat. Yeah, okay, thanks. Right. So if you all don't have any clarifications or questions, I can wind up the sessions. Right. Okay. Then thank you very much. So we'll meet next week. Probably I will work on segmentation. This presentation, whatever you require, I will upload. I have uploaded some reading material to you. Make sure you go through it. And even for this, I will upload some reading material. In the reading material, I give you more knowledge than what we discussed so that you can have a better idea by reading about the subject that we discussed. So then, thank you very much. You can exit from the session. I will be here for a few seconds if you have anything to ask.